Okay, welcome to the 323rd District Court detention hearings for Monday, October 26, 2020. In compliance with Texas Supreme Court Order number 25 related to the coronavirus, we are not having in-person proceedings, but proceeding remotely through the software Zoom. No portion of this detention hearing may be copied, broadcast, or published. Violations are punishable by contempt of court of up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. And we're doing Zoom. I'm taking my cue from Judge Hagerman. It seemed to work really well. I do require everyone on Zoom to have their cameras on and behave appropriately for a court setting. So that means no bright lights in the background, no driving in cars, no laying in bed, no being in pajamas, no domesticated animals running across the screen. If you are here simply to observe, you can go to the YouTube channel for the 323rd District Court, where we are broadcasting these proceedings for people that simply want to observe and are not participating. So I'm going to go ahead and ask Ms. Taylor, Ms. Smith, Jolene Drake, if you can please turn your cameras on. Tonisha Anderson, you're going to have to aim your camera away from the ceiling of your car. I'll give deference to Ms. Taylor since she's an officer of the court. We'll get back to Ms. Drake later. All right. Mr. Sierra, please, I don't want to see your phone. Thank you. You can be on your phone, just don't hold it in front of your laptop camera. All right, so we're going to start with Keandrick Henderson, who is in the Tarrant County Jail. Sheriff, do you have Mr. Henderson there? Okay, I guess the sheriff doesn't have him yet. We'll come back to Mr. Henderson. Next, we'll have Jackie Bush, Form 3 hearing.
Here. We're here, Judge.
All right, thank you. Two waivers. All right, Ms. Bush, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. Actually, this is a Form 3 hearing. So Ms. Bush, evidently DFW police responded to a runaway on a flight from California. So they detained you as you exit the plane. And I guess dad bought a ticket for you to fly to Mobile, Alabama. Mom refused, or of course, you run away. All right, so Ms. Bush, here's the deal. I'm not sure what's going on with your parents, okay? That's kind of outside the scope of what I'm here for. There's a set of rules that all the states in the United States agreed to as far as how to handle children that are reported as runaways, okay? And basically, we all follow the same rules. And so if there's a runaway from Texas that ends up in California, they would have the exact same hearing in front of a judge. You're listed as a runaway, or you're alleged to be a runaway. So the question now is, there's a process on returning you back to the home state that you're from, which is the state of California. Okay. So I want to let you know that you have a right to have a hearing. You can either waive the hearing and voluntarily return to California, or you can request a hearing, which I'll appoint an attorney for you, and we'll have to determine if, in fact, you are Jackie Bush and whether you are a runaway and whether California has a proper paperwork for you as a runaway. If that all falls in place, then we would order you detained until California came and picked you up. So I don't mind giving you the hearing you would like if you want to contest this, if you want to fight it, or I want to give you the opportunity to return voluntarily to California if you'd like to do so. You have an opinion?
How long would I have to wait?
How long you have to So your question, how long do you have to wait? Okay, so the hearing, once we get the formal request, is who's here from the department that's doing the runaway?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Dawson, do we have the request under the interstate compact yet?
No, Your Honor, we don't. Mom and Dad are still trying to work out the details of if she can continue to Mobile or go back to California.
Sure. So, Ms. Bush, once we get the letter from Austin, then they ask us to have the hearing within 30 days. Okay? So that's not saying that it will take 30 days, that's just what they request. But we can't go forward until we actually have the letter that we get from Austin and Austin gets from Sacramento. Okay? So it's really hard to say how long it's going to take. Once we get the letter, the formal request from Sacramento, California, I would have a better idea. So I can't tell you.
Am I gonna be able to talk to my parents?
I'm sorry?
Am I gonna be able to talk to my parents?
Yeah, you should be able to talk to your parents. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
She's
So-
in.
Can anyone hear? Can anyone hear me?
Ma'am, this is a court proceeding. This is not for you to ask if people can hear you or not.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mr. Drake, please refrain from talking. All right, so Ms. Bush, the options, and I'm sorry for being very kind of cold about this. I don't know what situation you're in, but the law is very clear. I have to ask either you're willing to voluntarily return to California or if you would like to have a hearing to fight the return to California.
Have a hearing.
I'm sorry?
Have a hearing.
Have the hearing? Okay, that's not a problem at all, Ms. Bush. So at this point, since there is no parent to release you to, I'm going to go ahead and detain you, all right? And then we will follow up with Austin. We'll follow up with Sacramento to try to get the paperwork in order, and we'll schedule a hearing for your Form 3 runaway, okay?
Thank
All
you,
right,
Your Honor.
thank you, Ms. Bush. Thank you, Mr. Dawson. All right, next we have Jermaine Chandler. Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to go back. We have the one from the sheriff, Tavion Smith. Sorry? No, what am I missing? Oh, I'm sorry, Keandrick Henderson. All right, I think the sheriff had brought in the child. There we go. Hello, Mr. Henderson, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Henderson, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been in our custody for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case to decide whether to release you or to keep you in custody. If I keep you in custody, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney.
Back.
So you're 17 years old. Ms. Hawthorne, you need to stay quiet.
Oh, I'm.
Thank you. All right, so you're adjudicated delinquent for assault bodily injury. You were placed on probation back in last July of 19. In January, there's a motion to modify. You're supposed to successfully complete Care House. And then you were staying half-time in Euless, half-time in Dallas County. And then we tried to do a virtual contact with you. Grandma said you had not been home for a couple days and you did not want to be there. We tried to follow up with your mom. She didn't know where you were. And so you contacted our probation officer, said your phone was shut off, so you could only contact him through when you had Wi-Fi. Saying that you left grandma's house and said you were staying at a friend's house down the street. So we issued a warrant for you because you were not supposed to be staying at a friend's house, and that we detained you at your initial detention hearing. So let's see. So we're supposed to move you back for a psychological. Did we move him back for psychological, Ms. Campos?
No, Your Honor, I just received the progress report back this morning saying that you wanted him transferred back. So I needed to see how we go about doing that.
Okay. All right. So that's everything's in place then. We just want him back here at Kimbo so we can do the psychological?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. So, Mr. Henderson, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. You have to have a psychological evaluation. I'm concerned about you running away. That's why I don't want to release you, because you've shown a history of running away. But kids are supposed to be with their parents, all right? If you had a conflict or problem with your grandmother or your mom, you're supposed to call Ms. Campos to figure it out, not just do things on your own, all right? So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and sign an order for you to be returned back here to Kimbo. We can do a psychological evaluation. I'm gonna let you know, like I let every other 17-year-old know, that while you're here, you need to behave. You have to follow our rules. If we bring you back here, I expect you to be a level 1-0. As a 17-year-old, you have to be a leader and example for the younger kids here. If you are not, I will send you back to Tarrant County Jail, and the psychological may or may not be available for you, okay? So you're earning your keep here. I know you'd rather be here at Kimbo. It's a better situation, better environment. So normally, once a kid's at Tarrant County Jail, I don't bring them back, but your probation officer is requesting this, so I'm gonna honor her request. So think of this as kind of a second chance that very few kids get, all right? So come back here, do what you're supposed to do, and I'll let you stay at Kimbo as long as you're level 1-0, okay? But if you drop down, I'm gonna send you back to county, okay?
Sure.
All right, thank you, Mr. Henderson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Sheriff, thank you very much for bringing this inmate.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Jermaine Chandler. What'd you say, Stephanie? Okay. Okay, we have Mr. Chandler. Is he here?
Make it for you.
Okay.
Mr. Chandler?
Yes, sir.
There we are. Okay. So I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child is brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you here or to release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. We have appointed Miss Wiley. Well, Miss Wiley, I haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
So we have appointed Miss Wiley to be your attorney for this case, pending the ad litem paperwork. All right, so Mr. Chandler, you have been here before.
Yes, sir.
Assault case in 2019 when you were 15 years old. Then earlier this year in August, you picked up a case for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and you got probation for that in September. And then 2 days after the unauthorized use, you had a criminal mischief case, which was dismissed by the DA. All right, so now let's see. On Saturday, police got a hit for a possible stolen vehicle. Officers found the vehicle, did a traffic stop, and there's a high-risk stop. The vehicle fled from the officers, and there was chase. After a short pursuit, the vehicle came to a dead end. The driver and 3 passengers got out of the vehicle, ran from the police on foot. 2 jumped over a brick wall and continued to run. The officers were able to take in custody 2 out of the 4. One of the passengers, suspects that jumped over the brick wall, was identified as Jermaine Chandler by his name and date of birth. So I guess, Mr. Mitchell, do we know if he was a driver or just a passenger?
He was one of the passengers, sir.
Okay.
Because they got him for evading on foot.
All right. So evading on foot, but he's on probation.
Yes, sir.
For a stolen car, and he's caught in a stolen car. And we give him a drug test. Back in August, he was positive for weed, but this time he was clean.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he's enrolled, virtual learning. He's in TCAP. Are the parents here for Jermaine?
Yes, sir. She's there.
Okay. Where is the parent? Who's the parent?
Alicia Coleman.
Okay, hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So, Mr. Mitchell, what time did this happen?
Per the report, it was Saturday morning. He was brought to the attention about 11:05 approximately.
Okay, so late morning. All right, Mom, why was he in a stolen car Saturday morning? Do you know anything about that?
No, sir. Actually, when they got the phone call, I had just got off of work. And I came home, he wasn't there. So I was making some phone calls, call his brother to see where he was at. And he didn't seen him. And so look, after that, I say about 20 minutes later, I get a phone call telling me just what he was doing. So.
All right. So, Mr. Mitchell, who are the other people in the car that were arrested? Do we know?
We have no idea, so it's not included in the report.
All right, Mom, is he respectful to you at home?
Yes, sir. He's very respectful.
So what I'm worried about is he's on probation
Mm-hmm.
and he's in a stolen car, which he may or may not have known about. But if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't run from the police, right?
That's right.
So, I mean, he wasn't the driver, so he can't be popped for the evading arrest. I mean, you and I, if that's happening, we just sit there and wait for the police with our hands up and be like, hey, you know, you go after them. You don't have to worry about me, right?
That's right. Well, when they called me, they had said that the reason why he ran because he was scared. That's what I got the report of. The detective told me he was scared, reason why he ran. So I'm like, if you didn't do nothing wrong, why did you run? But
see, Mom, and you and I are on the same page. You're only scared if you think you're doing something wrong,
right? You know, so.
Because me, I'm only scared of my mom when I've done something wrong.
That's right.
Well, all right, so this is, Mom, this is what I'm thinking, right? You know, all our decisions have consequences, right? That's just life. So I'm thinking what I want to do is I want to just hold him here until he gets a level 1-0. And if he can show he can behave, that's the consequence of his decision, and I'll release him on electronic monitor, okay? But this is largely because he's not testing positive for weed, right? And that you're telling me that he's respectful, right? So Jermaine, I let you know the fact that your mom is going to bat for you, right? And it seems like you've been doing things right at home with Mom. That's what's working in your favor. If you had just sat there, no one's accusing you of stealing a car, right? If you had just sat there when the car stopped and just waited for the police, and you and I never would have met. They would have just taken you home, right? And this would have been over. So just kind of tuck that away under your hat for next time to realize if you're not doing anything wrong, then you don't have to worry. If you are doing something wrong, then you should probably rethink about what you're doing, right? Like, let's say you knew the car was stolen. Probably shouldn't have gotten in the car. Not saying that you did. I'm just saying this is the way to think, okay? So you know what I expect from you. Get to level 1-0. I'll release you on electronic monitor to go back home. But if you can't get your behavior level up here, then you're going to stay here until you do, okay? Now you understand, I know you're around weed. I know your friends smoke weed. But the fact that you did not partake, that's why I'm letting you out so quickly. If you tested positive for marijuana, I'd be holding you longer. Okay, so your good decisions is helping you out on this one. Okay? All right, thank you, Jermaine.
Thank you, Judge.
Deja Hewley.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay, Saturday. Okay. Thank you.
We're here, Judge Kim.
Okay. All right, Deja. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a child's brought into our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I've decided whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. I've appointed, or you're, Mr. Willett is your appointed attorney here. Mr. Willett. Mr. Willett, are you here today?
Yes. Hello?
Oh, there you are. Okay. All right, CPS here?
Your Honor, I do not see them on the screen. They said they would be here and I provided the link.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay. All right, Tiffany, this is, I appreciate how difficult this situation is, all right? And it is equally difficult for all parties involved. How quickly can you come and get her?
I would have to get with my supervisor. I'm 4.5 hours away.
Can she not be released to the placement?
Can she not be released back to her placement?
Yeah, well, the placement is through the department. So I'll be releasing her to the custody of CPS. So do you want our local agency here that handles the transport of children is OCOK, right? So if you're telling me that you're willing to take her back, you can have OCOK come and pick her up.
Is Cynthia on?
No, I don't see Cynthia. Yes, sir, that's okay.
Okay. I mean, right now what I'm seeing is this is on a DTA for her, but it's not a new offense. So I really want to release her. Now, if there's a new charge, I'll reconsider, but there's no charge yet. It's just simply a DTA for her misbehavior. So if you can go and arrange for OCOK, we're going to release her today to OCOK.
Okay, that I can do.
All right. Thank you very much, Tiffany. And you're in what county are you in?
We're Tyler County.
Tyler. What county?
Tyler.
Okay, so Tyler's in Smith County. Where's Tyler County?
It's
What's your biggest town? What's your county seat?
Woodville area.
Woodville. Okay. Okay, good. I know what that is. All right. Well, Ms. Picaro, thank you very much for being here. And so if you can just call OCOK and actually change that around. I'll do a release order to release to OCOK. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Deja, now one last thing I want to say to you, okay? I know you don't like it here, okay? I don't like you being here, but I hope you understand that your decisions have consequences, right? And if you're tired of seeing me, then you got to keep yourself in check. I understand there's things you're frustrated about, and there are times that you lose control, but what you have to understand is as long as you're in Tarrant County, if you're losing control, more often than not, you'll end up coming back to Kimbo and seeing me. And you don't like it here, do you? Okay. So you understand how this works. You understand how it's going to work every single time. Like you're the one controlling this. Like you have the power to be here or to stay out of here. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I'm trying to respect you and make you understand. I'm trying to have an adult conversation with you to make sure that you understand that you're the one controlling the story. Like every time we interact, you're the one that's controlling that. So I'm asking you, control yourself so you control our interactions that you don't have to see me anymore, okay?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Deja. So the next one is Rodney Moore.
Stand by, Judge. I'm going to get that youth.
All right, thank you. Hello, Ms. Barrows. So, Mr. Hall, while we're waiting on Mr. Moore, Mr. Hall, when does rifle season open in Oklahoma?
I believe it's November. I mean,
Yeah, November 20th or something at
Right.
the end of the month. I think it's the last week of November and the first week of December.
Okay. Yes. Is it like a 48-hour rifle season there?
It's 14 days. Yeah.
Judge, you call for Mr. Rodney Moore?
I did. Where are we now, Mr. Moore?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Moore, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case. You get to decide whether to keep you in custody or release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Ms. Barrows, your attorney, is here. All right, so furthermore, the court proceedings are normally closed to the public when children are under 14 years old. The court will make an affirmative finding that the interests of the child or the interests of the public are better served by opening this proceeding to the public. All right, so Mr. Moore, you are 12 years old. You're on probation for arson. And while you're on probation, you had problems that we had to issue warrants for you in February of 2020, March of 2020, June of 2020, June 5th, June 13th of 2020, June 25th of 2020, and August 14th of 2020. And it took a month to find you because you cut off your EM and you ran away. You're also looking at a new charge for felony injury to a child. And when we brought you in, you're positive for weed. This is while you were on probation for arson. And you have a court date coming up on November 17th. You're a level 1 outstanding, but have only been since Friday. So Mr. Spence, what happened to his behavior level? Why did it drop down?
He has, as far as the 22nd, it doesn't say, it just says it was dropped to acceptable. On the 19th, it's arguing with a peer, repeatedly talking without permission.
Okay. So he's getting better, but he's still not doing what he's supposed to do. Also, oh wait, so is mom here, Ms. Hawthorne?
Sir?
Your Honor, I believe it's Miss Crosby.
Oh, Ms. Crosby. Where's Ms. Crosby? I'm sorry, Ms. Hawthorne, you're for Lewis Parker. Is the mom here?
She was earlier. Yes, she's here, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Crosby, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you can do me a favor, you can raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give at this cause currently at trial that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can lower your hand. So I've sworn you in as a witness now, all right, for this matter. There are issues because you are the actual parent. I know grandpa's here, but you are the actual parent of the child. So there's court proceedings that require the parent to be involved, okay? So I want to make sure that you understand that you're involved in this process. Okay, Mom, are you not able to make it up to the courthouse?
No, because the job I have, like, I really can't come, so.
Okay,
And
so
me and my husband have equal custody. Like, he's a big, matter in my son's life. He's basically like his father, so.
yeah, but he's not the actual parent though.
Yeah, I know, but the bond and love we all have for each other wouldn't make
No,
it.
for that, absolutely. And that is a factor when it comes to where we release the child and who cares for the child. I understand that. But the Texas Family Code doesn't say like a father. It actually says the parent, right? So,
Of course,
yeah.
yes, sir.
So I'm limited that I actually have to have parents here if parents are on. Now, let's say you were, I don't know, living in Canada or out of state even, or in TDC or something, and you couldn't be here, that'd be different. But since you are here, then it's necessary for you to be here, okay? So we'll figure that one out in the future. But these courts, before we finish off this case, right, you're gonna have to be at the court proceeding, just to let you know. Otherwise, like, we can't finish off this case.
We can make plans for that for the future. I have no problem with that.
Okay, good. All right, just letting you know. All right, so Rodney, let me go over this. I still got this on my bench. I still remember this, all right? And this is even before, like, you and I ever met. You just decided to take this picture of me and make a meme of me, even though you and I never had words together. You never had a detention hearing. And then later on, it turns out that, yeah, I'm worried about you being around guns. And this picture popped up, you know, kind of I guess we call it self-snitching on Instagram. And so
Yes,
I'm
sir.
just worried about your safety in the public. And then, you know, believe it or not, then this picture, I just got this one this week. So yeah, there's more indication of you out there with guns on the street. I'm just very concerned about you in the public. And so, you know, we've got an issue here. You're actually looking at a gun case for a shooting. And now I see these pictures keep on popping up with you and guns. Yes, sir.
But look, I wrote something for you. I know the last time you see me, I was a 1A, but I had to change it because I told you I got to show you if I get out. I know y'all are not playing with me, and I did this for my family and most important, me. I know if I come back, I'm getting shipped off. Most importantly, things I need to do is follow rules, go to school, stop acting like I'm grown and not running away. I do not have to do anything back because I have everything I need. I know my mama and papa love me, and I'm the oldest, so I have to start being an example for my sister and brothers. I'm not going to argue with my papa and my mama. I'm going to listen to them. When I go to school, I'm going to go to every class, do my work. I will take TCAP, YMCA, counseling, everything I need. I will act my age like I'm supposed to and stay away from guns, do my chores, work at home, and I will send you a copy of my report card every 6 weeks.
So here's part of my problem. Your mom's not even coming to court for you. I mean, she showed up on Zoom, but this is, I think, the second time she showed up on Zoom of all the hearings that we had. Right? Your grandpa's here all the time, but it's just hard for me to release you if your mom's not even willing to come to court for you. Right? I'm also worried about all these guns that you have access to, because so far this is 3 different firearms I've seen you holding and putting pictures on Instagram. So I have no idea how much access to firearms that you have in the community, and I have to feel confident about releasing you. What makes it worse is that you're not a level 1O this whole time, that you're still causing problems to drop down to level 1A. Yes, sir.
Look, this is the guns. I don't do that at home. I know I get in trouble if I do it at home. That's outside of the house, basically. And I'm willing to do whatever I have to do. I'm not trying to go get shit nowhere. I need to do actually what I need to do.
Well, why aren't you doing that then?
I'm trying to show you.
But if you're not listening to staff and you're getting arguments with peers in detention, is that doing what you're supposed to do?
No, but I haven't never dropped my level. Look,
Yeah, but
25 days.
you dropped down though.
This Saturday.
You dropped.
Yeah.
You dropped down though.
Yeah. Can I speak?
Yes.
I know the image like that my son has put on for you guys, and I know like the image you guys probably have of me, but I don't think sometimes you should judge a book by its cover. Me, and I have not been there. It's for my own like reasons. It's not like I'm not there, but I'm there. The times I've come.
No, hold on. Let's just clarify. Sorry to interrupt. When you say I'm not there, but I'm there, no, you're not here. Okay, I just want to clarify. You are actually not here. Grandpa's here, but you are not here.
Not in the flesh, but I'm saying I'm the loving my dad, and like I'm there. It's just not like I'm.
No. Hold on. You're not here, right? Don't say that you're here because you're not here. I mean, the rest of it, I'm listening to you, but I'm gonna call you out when you say that you're here. You are not here, ma'am. Okay, so please continue.
Physically, yes, sir. But what I'm saying is the last time when I came, I had some illegal issues of my own, and when I came, I got arrested and I went to jail. You see what I'm saying? And now I have a job, like, and sometimes I can't get off during the times that y'all have court, like, or I'll lose my job, and that's how I like support
so
me and my.
Where's your job? Where do you work?
I work at a call center.
In what city? What company do you work for?
First, and it's Nail Tech Call Center.
Okay.
And
blah, blah, blah. Basically, like, you know, that's my reason I couldn't be there. Last time I had legal issues. That's why I wasn't there prior. And now sometimes my job, when you guys have court, I can't be there. And like I was saying, if I might proceed, my son, I know this image that he's put on for you guys for the internet that I didn't even was
This
aware. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when you say don't judge a book by the cover, like how?
Yes, court. Yes, sir. I'm aware.
Okay, so I'm curious when you say don't judge a book by the cover, this isn't really judging a book by the cover, right? Like he posed for this picture.
But look,
And let me talk, son. Let me talk. And I know my son. I know anytime when he did that, he ran away and, you know, had trouble, did what he did. But my son is not that kid. I think he put on for the people that he was around and wanted to seem cool to fit in. And he did that stuff. And he did it to think that it made him cool. But I know my son. My son is not disrespectful at home. My son is not that kid. My son loves me. I've been there always for my son and taught him.
Hold on. I'm calling you out again. You say you've been there always. You're not coming to court. You can't say you've been there always, right?
But my father is there. It's
No.
my own reason that I could
can't
not
say that you've been here always, right?
I'm
just keeping it real with you.
It's been real to me. I feel that I have, just because I wasn't there in the flesh for my own reasons. That's mean that I don't
Period.
talk.
No, hold on. You haven't been here in the flesh, period. There's no but. Like you haven't been here. Like you hung them out to dry.
If we can have that. That's just how I feel. And I'm still there. Like I'm still there. My dad, that's me. I'm him. I'm there. We're there.
Hold on. What's that saying? You're entitled to your own opinion. You are not entitled to your own facts. You have not been here.
Out there physically, like I said, I mean, I don't want to argue. You're right, and you're gonna feel how you feel about it. But what I'm saying, sir, I'm there. Like, and I love my son.
You are not here. This is what you don't seem to understand. Is when you say I'm there, that means you are here. You are not here.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
You may want to be here. You may wish you could be here. You may try to be here, but either it's like being pregnant. Either you're pregnant or you're not pregnant. Either you're here or you're not here. Okay, you are not here. Now, that being said, you understand when you're called in for these cases, your employer cannot fire you for showing up to court. Okay, your record is compulsory. If they do fire you, then I can actually fine the business, your employer, or I can actually put your manager in jail for violating the court order. Like you have an excuse for being here. Okay, so yes, Rodney.
My mom, like, she does everything she need for me. She do everything.
Except show up.
My son knows. And like I said, and I can be a woman and I can be a mother. I have my own legal issues why I can't come.
Oh, okay. I mean, you know, your son has legal issues too. Your son has really big legal issues right now.
He is. I know everything. It might not seem like I'm there or I'm green to anything. I know everything that's going on with my son. I'm very active in my son's life. I love my son. Like I've always took care of him and told him right from wrong. Those choices he made when he ran away.
Hold on a second. Grandpa, how long has Rodney been living with you?
Since about 2010.
Okay, so for about 10 years of a 12-year-old's life, and you tell me you've always been there for him, taking care of him.
I lived with my father as well for a long period of time. So we all raised him together. We all was a family together, and I helped my dad as well. Family, yeah. So my dad is like his father. We all stayed together. Like recently, we have not been staying together because I've ventured off and, you know, doing a little better and trying to put things together. But not recently, not just too long, got out of jail this year. Like I said, I've had my own issues, but that don't make me a bad mother. You know what I mean?
So dumping your son on your dad makes you a bad mother.
How did I dump him on him? That's on opinion. Is we here for my son or are we here for me? Because obviously you have your own opinion about me formed already. I've never met you. And I don't think that that's fair. I don't think things are being handled fairly.
I have no opinion of you except for the fact that you stop lying.
Hell, that you do. Yes, sir.
Because you know what? One of the things that just torques me is when people lie to me. And you keep on saying that I've been there and you're not here.
It's your opinion, maybe not to you because I'm not there.
See, that is the thing. It is not an opinion. It's a fact. You have yet to show up in the courthouse. You have yet to visit your son. You have yet to be here for anything. You are not here. Do not lie.
Visitation. I send my son letters and cards every day. He calls me every day. I talk to him every day when he's free. I talk to him and see him every day. What do you mean? Your own opinion. You don't know what goes on in our life, sir. That's not fair. And I don't think that it's fair. I don't think that you guys are handling my son fair just because I'm not there. But he has a guardian right there that's there stepping up for him. Just because you don't see me don't mean that I'm not there and I don't love him. And that's not fair.
And you know, here's the problem is between the two of us, in his legal case, there's really only one opinion that really matters.
And trust me, if nobody knows that, this woman right here knows it. Trust me.
Yes, Mr. Moore.
My mom the one trying to give me a lawyer, spend money on me all the time for everything I need.
Okay, I don't understand you.
It doesn't matter what he says.
Please be quiet. Mr. Moore, what'd you say? I didn't understand what you're saying.
My mom spends everything. She tries to do everything for me. She break up back for me, everything.
I know, son. We know.
Ma'am, again, you need to be quiet. It's not your turn to talk. This is not a conversation between you and Rodney.
And Papa.
No. Wait your turn.
See, this is what, Ronnie, here's the problem. All this conflict that we've had, all the times that you just don't listen, you just wait for your turn to talk, the disrespect you've shown me, your attitude that you've had to me, the attitude toward your probation officer, Mr. Spence, the fact that you run away, do your own thing, that you're not going to show up and fulfill your obligation to the court like you're supposed to. I see all that you're learning from your mom, right? She's setting that example for you that's getting you this problem. If you followed the example from your grandpa, we would not be having issues. He's always here. He's respectful. He treats me with respect. He doesn't lie to me. He doesn't keep on lying to me and double down on it. He doesn't interrupt me. He's the guy that you need to be listening to and following and looking for example, not your mom. Your mom is doing everything wrong that put you in this situation, right? Even when she's telling me that everything, all this stuff on Instagram with these pictures, right? That's not really you. But you know, you have a gun shooting case that you're in, and you're telling me that you're not in the house with guns. Obviously, you have access to guns, and obviously, there's an issue with you discharging firearms. Yes, Mr. Moore.
But she wasn't there when I had all them guns. I can't even be around gun. When I have BB gun, she gonna take it. Even if it's a BB gun, she gonna take it. Everything she take them.
So, Mr. Moore, she's the one telling me that she's always been there for you. She's always watched out for you. She's always cared for you. She always took care of you. She's always set you right. And now you're telling me when she's there, you behave, but you do all this stuff on the side when she's not around, which makes me think she's not always there supervising you like she says she is.
My son runs away. Do you not have
this is not your turn to talk.
Mama, just listen. Just stop, Mama.
Listen to your son. He's actually, you know what? This is the crazy thing. This 12-year-old boy has a better head on his shoulders, and more respect, and more courtesy than you do, ma'am. That is mind-blowing to me.
Mom, don't I get it. I was just, can you please give me one more chance? I'm trying to show you. Like everything I can do it. My mama, she cry every night because I'm here. She don't like me here.
Yeah, I don't like you here either, believe it or not, Mr. Moore. Yeah. Here's the problem though, right? Is I see a side of you, and this is crazy. I see a side of you that you're learning from your grandpa. You're learning respect, that there's a rational, reasonable side of you that you get from grandpa. And that's what you need to copy, not her. What I don't understand is how he's the person who raised your mom, and your mom is so disrespectful to everyone else in the world. Yes, Mr. Moore.
But yes, at the same time, my papa had his issues too. My papa did 8 years.
Hey.
It took him some time. Papa, let me talk. It took him some time.
Have to talk. Don't more,
ma'am, again. Ma'am, you need to stay quiet.
Mama, just stay quiet. Just listen. Mama, you're on mute. Just stay quiet. Okay. Look, I get what you're saying. Yes, my papa is basically my father figure because I don't have a father. I have one, but at the same time, I don't have a father. And look, I do get respect from my papa. My papa taught me how to shake people's hand with respect. Look to my all that. Yeah, I get what you're saying too.
See, your pawpaw is a classic example of somebody who did wrong, learned his lesson, and moved forward in life and did something better.
Yes,
And that he has earned my respect because he comes in respectful. He doesn't hide from his past. He doesn't minimize what he's done. He owns it. And he's never shied away from it. He's been very forthcoming about it. And you know what? You can tell that he holds his head high because he's a different person than he was back then. What I don't see in you, Mr. Moore, is that you're going through that process, that you still want to push the edges. So here's the thing. I know you're level 1.0 now, but you just got to level 1.0. You dropped down, right? If I'm to let you go, and here's the, your papa did not sign up for this. You're not his son. He, as a matter of love, has opened up his home and his heart to you and is providing for you, but he doesn't have to. That's actually your parents' job, and they failed in doing that. So I have to be extra cautious in releasing you because Papa just doesn't have the time or the energy or the responsibility to go chase around looking for you on the streets. And you
I promise I won't be back on those streets. I promise, Judge Kim. I swear, I promise I won't be back on those streets. Listen to my Papa, do everything he tell me. Papa, right now I was doing fine.
Well, no, ho. Don't ask him to lie for you because you cut off your EM and ran for a month. You weren't doing fine.
Before I even ran, Papa, what I was doing fine, right?
You had your moments where you did good. You did really great. Yes.
Cut off your EM, you ran, you're smoking weed, you're on Instagram with pictures of guns with other people on probation or have pending cases. You weren't doing fine.
Mr. Kim, look, with Judge Kim, before that, I was doing fine, and I'm trying to stay doing fine. I'm not worrying about the negative stuff. I'm worrying about the positive stuff. I put the negative stuff in the trash. Put that in the trash. I'm worried about the positive stuff. If I go home, I'm worrying about the positive stuff. I'm not worrying about no negative stuff. I'm not worrying about no guns. I'm not worrying about no weed. I'm not worrying about cutting no EM. I'm not worrying about running away. I'm worrying about doing me, what I know I can do.
I understand.
My family knows I can
you got to prove that to me by holding your 1.0. But you're bouncing back and forth between 1.0 and 1 acceptable. And that's not good enough for me. Not for a kid who's on probation, cutting off his EM, running away for a month, posting with pictures on Instagram, while you pick up a case where it involves a shooting, smoking weed, hang out with other kids that are on probation, hang out with other kids that have cases. See, if it was other kids, I'd be like, you know what, 1.0 down to 1A, you bounce back up, I'm okay with that. You have proven to me in your past what you're capable of. So you have to prove to me here in the present that I don't have to worry about your past. Yes, sir.
So how long do I have to hold my 1.0? I'm
not going to set that number for you, all right? Because you've got to convince me. It's not on me, right? You're making an offer to me. I want you to show up at this detention hearing and say, Judge, I have done nothing wrong since the last time you've seen me, right? That's how you start the conversation. I'm not setting that target for you because the target I set for you was go get on your probation for your arson case and don't cause problems. And when you cause problems, I came back and said, go out and I'm gonna put you on EM. And you caused problems and you cut off your EM and you had multiple EM violations over and over. You're smoking weed, you're putting pictures with you on guns on Instagram, right? All this comes back on you. I don't know why you thought that if you put something on the internet that the court would never see it. The law always sees it. Yes, sir.
And that gun that the gun.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to interrupt you there because I'm sure your attorney, Ms. Barrows, does not want you talking about a gun. Ms. Barrows, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. She does not want you talking about a gun right now. She doesn't want you to put yourself in a spot. That's why. So I'll talk to you stuff about detention, but anything new that you can.
I'm just talking about the page you got it off of. This is a fan page. That's a fan page.
So they photoshopped your picture? Is that what you're saying? This isn't really.
Not that picture. Not that picture.
Oh, the other picture. They photoshopped this picture.
Gang _ FP. That's a fan page or a fake page. That's what that means.
So this isn't a real picture.
That's a real picture, but it's a fake page.
Okay. Well, the picture's still the picture, right? Like somebody had to post where somebody took the picture. So, Mr. Moore. All right. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead and we will go ahead. I'm going to detain you and we'll figure out, let me see at the next detention hearing how you're doing. Prove to me, give me a reason to smile. Give me a reason to say, I don't have to worry. See, here's the thing is what you're trying to do is you're trying to do a little bit and talk your way and convince me for the rest of it. Don't do that. Let your actions speak. Let that be your record. Show me like your grandpa. His actions speak to me. He doesn't have to open his mouth. I already know he's a righteous man, right? I want your actions to show and prove me so you don't even have to explain anything. Okay? All right. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
All right, Mama, I love you. You don't
All right,
know me.
Munoz.
I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Munoz, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a child's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. All right, for Brian, you've never been here before. You were referred for an evading case. Euless PD stopped a vehicle for traffic violations. You were a passenger and you had a warrant out of Fort Worth for evading. According to the warrant, July 11th at 2:20, police tried to pull over a vehicle, but Brian, the driver, pulled off the roadway and turned off his lights. Vehicle fled police, ignoring traffic. Vehicle crashed after Brian lost control and crashed into a tree stump. Driver Brian Munoz was injured, taken to JPS, and he said, you told the police you fled since you were not supposed to be out in the parents' vehicle, and the police allow you to be released to Dad, and they filed the case. Is Dad here? All right, do they speak English?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, Dad, so this happened back in July. He's been home. How's his behavior been since then?
Judge, it's July 2018.
Oh, 28? Oh, so it's been over 2 years?
Correct.
So Dad, he hasn't been problems at home in the last 2 years?
No.
Okay, so tell me about this. Why was he out at, in another vehicle? Let's see. Okay, so he's just a passenger vehicle driver, had a warrant. All right, Dad, tell me what issues you have with Brian.
Well, since that time, I never had any problems with it. That night, they grabbed my wife's key.
I'm not talking about that. I want to know since then, what issues have you had with Brian?
Well, we tried and every day try keep him out of the trouble.
Mm-hmm. Is he staying out of trouble?
Yes, sir.
Is he respectful to you?
Yes, sir.
What about the mom?
The mom too.
He respects mom?
Yes.
Does he help with the chores in the house?
Hardly. At the house, it's hardly to do stuff, but he doing okay since that time. Well, we never had any trouble before in the whole life till that time.
And then you've had no real trouble since then?
No.
All right, so Brian, this is one of those moments of weird reckoning, all right? I am okay releasing you to your parents because it seems like that was a one-off incident that you've got your life in order. But before I do that, I want to ask you a question. Don't answer it yet. So so my question is, if I give you a drug test, are you going to be clean or dirty? Now, before you answer, what I want to say is there's 3 ways this works out. You tell me that you're clean, you go home today with your mom and dad. You tell me that you're clean, but we test you and you're dirty, then I'm going to make you stay here to get to level 1-0 and hold it for a week. However, if you just tell me that you're dirty, then I'm going to reassess and make you stay here for a little bit and then release you. So if I give you a drug test, you'd be clean or dirty?
Clean.
Clean?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and give him a drug test. If he's clean, we'll release him to the parents today. If he is dirty, then what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and keep him here to level 1-0 and make him keep it for a week. All right, Ms. Guerrero?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
All right, Adolfo Nava.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Relation, Mr. Nava?
No, sir. I didn't speak with the family, and we're not related in any way.
Okay. All right, Adolfo, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I've decided whether to keep you here to release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have a right to an attorney. You have your right to remain silent. All right, so Adolfo, you're 15 years old. You were here in 2017 for an assault public servant case. We give you a drug test and you're negative. So, see, Fort Worth PD referred you. There's a warrant. Let's see, according to the warrant, on August 7th, police responded to a robbery call. Victim said an acquaintance, Jose Vega, contacted him through Snapchat asking if he was interested in buying a Glock for $200. Victim said yes. Jose and two other suspects agreed to pick up the victim, take him to an ATM. About 5 o'clock in the morning, they went to ATM. Victim got money. They drove. They told him the driver told the victim the gun was in the trunk. When he got out, one of the suspects pulled out a gun, held it to his chest, took his wallet. They get back in the vehicle and they left. And they identified Adolfo through a photo lineup. And Adolfo was a driver. All right, Adolfo, do you know what the law of parties is? Have you heard of that?
No, sir.
Law of parties means in Texas, anybody who helps plan, commit, or benefit from a crime, they're all equally guilty of the crime itself. So, for example, if myself and who am I going to pick? Mr. Adler, are you here? I saw you.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's your attorney, Mr. Adler. Let's say Mr. Adler and I decide to rob a convenience store, and I'm the getaway driver, and Mr. Adler goes in the store, steals or robs the cash register, and we drive off. Well, Mr. Adler went in the store, but I was the getaway driver. I helped participate in the crime, so I'm also guilty of the robbery. So everyone that's involved is guilty of the same crime, according to Texas law. All right, so I'm deeply concerned. I want to let you know, anytime there's a child brought in here with an offense that involves a gun, that gives me great hesitation. So one, this is buying and selling stolen guns. It also involves a gun being pulled out and held to the victim's chest, making him a fear for his life. So I'm not going to release you. It is up to you to prove to me that you deserve to be released. Otherwise, my default answer when kids are involved with guns is to detain them. Yes, sir.
I was told they were selling him some shoes, and I didn't know.
Okay, hold on. I don't want you to talk about the case. Your attorney doesn't want you to talk about the case. This is not your trial. This is simply about probable cause, whether if what they say is true, then would it be a crime? And I'm finding if what they say about you is true, it would be a crime. And so that's enough for me to hold you. The fact that there was a gun involved makes me actually hold you. And now I don't know if you were the actual gunman or not. You were the driver. So that reduces your culpability a little bit in my eyes. But I'm still very concerned because that's how people get shot and killed. All right. So at this point, it appears you were involved in a crime involving a gun. When kids are involved in crimes involving a gun in Tarrant County, I detain them. That's just period. Kids shouldn't be around guns unsupervised by an adult. Okay? All right. Thank you, Mr. Nava.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Adler. All right, Ms. Ortiz, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I've decided whether to keep you here or to release you. If I keep you here, you see a judge every 10 days. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. All right, Mr. Ortiz, you have been here before for a weed case back in 2018 when you were 13 years old. And then now, let's see, Saturday, Fort Worth PD brought you in. There was a car that ran a red light. You're the back right passenger, the only one in the back seat. They saw you stuffing something between the back seats. Did everyone get out? They saw a clear plastic baggie with a white substance under the back right passenger seat. It was tested and tested positive, presumptively, for cocaine. See, back in March, you were referred out of custody for a possession of penalty group 2 over a gram in a drug-free zone. They're saying about 8:45 in the morning, there was a metal detector administrative search of students at the school, and you were caught in possession of some edibles. So now we're looking at a polysubstance issue, and you tested positive for marijuana. So you have a pending case for edibles, for THC, and you continue to use THC while you have this case pending. And you also get picked up for cocaine. So at this point, I'm very concerned. The weed doesn't bother me as much, but mom, are you mom?
Yes.
I got something to say.
Do you speak English, mom?
A little bit.
A little bit, okay. So, let's see, who is
Your
Ms.
Honor,
Ross?
I'm covering for her.
Oh, you're covering for her. Can you ask mom, is she aware that he is involved around cocaine?
Mamá, el juez quiere saber si usted sabe que su hijo está alrededor de cocaína.
No.
She's not aware.
Okay, is this a deep concern for her?
¿Usted tiene preocupación sobre eso?
Claro que sí.
Of course, Your Honor.
Yes, soy también, you know, like, so, yeah, I think we just need to be careful about this one. If it was just marijuana, I wouldn't be as concerned. The cocaine really bothers me. I'm gonna at least hold him here for a little bit so it cools down so we don't have to worry as much, okay? Mr. Nava, let's go ahead and order a hair follicle test for him. All right, because I want to see if there's other polysubstance and what the levels are, how far back it goes. All right, yes.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ortiz.
That white substance that.
Hold on. I don't want you to talk. Your attorney, Mr. Sierra, does not want you talking about the white substance or anything in the car, Mr. Sierra. Is that correct? Okay. Yeah, he is telling. Mr. Sierra, you may want to say something so you pop up.
Correct, Judge. I don't think this is a time that he needs to speak, Your Honor.
Mr. Ortiz, this is not about whether you did it or not. This is not a trial. It's simply about holding you or not holding you. And so the fact that it presumptively tested by the police for cocaine, that gets me really, really worried. Okay, and that's there's a whole bunch of other issues that go on when we're talking about more than just marijuana. So let you know, I'm detaining you because it did test positive for cocaine, presumptively. We're going to figure things out. I'm also doing a hair follicle test to see what else you've been using. And you know what? It turns out if it wasn't cocaine, you've never used cocaine, you're in the last 3 months, your hair will come back clean. And that actually helps you out. Okay? All right. Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. All right, Louis Parker.
Ok, pero yo no puedo hablar nada. No puedo decir nada.
Judge Kim, I'm Alicia Hawthorne. I'm here for Louis Parker.
Okay, hello, Ms. Hawthorne.
Hi. Do I need to mute again?
Oh, no, you can just please don't talk out of order.
Okay.
So we're waiting. Oh, hello, Mr. Parker. I'm Judge Kim. This is your 10-day detention hearing. We need to figure out what's going. I need to figure out whether to release you or to keep you here. If I keep you here, you see a judge every 10 days. Your attorney is here, and you know you have the right to remain silent. All right, so you're level 1 outstanding, and you have been since October 21st. All right, this is the capital murder on Las Vegas Trail. Very familiar with this one. I think, who is it? It's American King. It's a companion case. All right, so now that we are here, and he's been here, I mean, this case is just going on so long. Mr. Hall,
Judge, he's in the restoration program here in Tarrant County.
Okay, how's that going? Mr. Parker, how's that restoration program going?
Well,
okay,
it's going pretty slow. It's going all right.
It goes slow because they want to make sure you understand everything, all right? And so I hope you understand. You can't speed through it. Just make sure you get all the steps down so we can move forward with the case and decide what's going to happen with you, all right? So that being said, I see Mom here. Dad, you're here.
Yes, sir, I am.
Now, I heard a rumor. Is it true that you're related or descendant of Quanah Parker?
Yes, sir. And my family comes out of Mosier Valley, Texas, or East Fort Worth.
That's amazing. That is, you know, I was surprised by that. That, you know, Miss Johnson's nodding her head. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that remarkable? Yeah. No, that's, talk about great ancestor. A great story for the family. Louis, you know about Quanah Parker?
No, sir.
Your dad never told, oh, come on, Dad. You got to carry on the legacy. You can't stop here with this one. She is one of the most famous people ever to come out of Tarrant County. Not for necessarily good reasons, just interesting Tarrant County history. Right. So, all right. Now that we're here, I know one time we released, Dad, you're out now, right? You're on paper, but you're out?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. And I gave some time off because I'm trying to help to reestablish a relationship with Louis. Everything went smooth. You picked him up, spent some time with him, brought him back. There were no problems, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you looking to do that again?
If possible.
Okay. Now I am not going to interrupt his fitness counseling program. All right, so that's going to be during the week, but I am open to, I want to help restore bonds that were severed while you were, I guess, paying the price for poor decisions. Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
so now that we're here, and now here's the thing, Ms. Hawthorne,
Yes.
my concern, and this is just very candid, my concern is, I know when Lewis cut off his monitor was on the run that you were kind of hiding it. Okay, I mean, I know you, but I know you were, all right? I'm not holding against you, I'm just saying this is what it was, okay? So that being said, I'm very hesitant, but I also want to make sure that Lewis's relationship with you continues and doesn't deteriorate further. I understand children, when they're here, their relationship with their parents deteriorate further. So, and Lewis is just, it's a very different situation considering everything. It's very non-typical, all right? So what I would, and I know this is a tremendous burden for our staff, but what I would like, he is level 1 outstanding, Lewis, so I'm glad you are. What I would like to do, well, let me ask this. Ms. Thomas, I saw he got to level 1 outstanding on October 21st. How far down did he drop? Was it just 1 acceptable?
1 acceptable.
Okay, all right, so he didn't drop to 2 at all, right?
No.
Okay, so what I would like to do then is, Dad, I'm gonna be less restrictive on you. Let's go ahead and try, can you do a full day, like a full Saturday? Does that work out for you?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, so we'll just do a morning so we get breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. But you still have to, the same rules though, you can't let him out of your sight, okay?
Yeah.
You have to be with him. If he doesn't go to court, I'm sorry, not court. If he doesn't come back, if you can't bring him back to detention, you understand we can issue warrants for parents for not bringing their children back, at which point then you're looking at a blue warrant, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna go and do that. We'll do it this Saturday. Okay, but Lewis, you can derail this if you drop down to level 1A. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you gotta keep the 1-0. So as long as you keep the level 1-0 between now and then, Saturday at 9 a.m., Dad, you can pick up your son and you have to bring him back by 8 p.m.
Okay.
Okay? Now, Mom, I'm trying to do this, but I'm gonna be more restrictive because the information that I have is that you were assisting your son in absconding, okay? So, but I do wanna help. So we're gonna go and start out and I wanna try just a half day with you, okay? So pick him up at 12 noon on Sunday and then just bring him back at 6 o'clock in the evening, okay?
Me,
Yes, you,
when I can pick Lewis up
on a Sunday, all
on a
right?
Sunday,
On
from
Sunday,
this
9 o'clock,
Sunday,
this Sunday, 9 o'clock in the morning, 6 p.m. Does that, 11 to 6, does that work with your schedule?
11 to 6. Yes, that's perfect.
Okay, we'll do that. You understand if you don't bring him back or he runs off, that you're gonna go to jail.
Right. I have my address. I've text information where I spoke with Mr. Hall and let him know my address, proof of bill, and what area and everything I'm in.
Those are the details. I just need to let you know, if you don't bring him back, you will be going to jail.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's all. I just want to make sure we understand each other, right?
Okay, we're on the same page.
We're on the same page. Now, do not let him out of your sight. Okay, Mom?
Okay.
All right. And so, Dad, I don't think I have to worry about you because you're on paper. Mom, you understand, if he tests positive for, we drug test him when he come back. If he's positive for weed, I know where he got it from, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. All right, Lewis, you're earning your part on this one, all right? And
yes, sir.
remember I told you before, I feel bad how long this is dragging out. This case started before I took this job, before I got here. But it is what it is. So I'm trying to do what I can to put you in a better possible situation, but you're doing this by earning it. Okay, there are a lot of kids back there acting like fools. You are not, so I'm rewarding you for that. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
I signed both. Did I? No, I signed both. Did I not sign? Okay. All right, Lita Saberi. All right, Lita, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. We've had many of these before. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. If I keep you, you see a judge every 10 days while you're here. Lita, you are on probation. I actually said I don't think she needs probation because she's going to violate and cause problems. I actually remember when you just had misdemeanors, You finally picked up a felony, and I told you at the detention hearing, you got to be careful because now you have a felony, you can be committed. And so you had these, so when you got probation, which I thought wasn't appropriate, but your attorney really went to bat for you, and the probation officer went to bat for you, and everyone's trying to bat for you. So I said, okay, I think you're wrong, but I'll give you a chance. And so now that you're in probation, it turns out that you are leaving the home without permission, staying out overnight. They found drugs and condoms in your room on more than one occasion. You continue to do what you want. You come and go as you want. And you had told your parents that you were jumped by the girl, so you're getting in fights again. And so, yeah, so at this point, and then we had an administrative hearing to try and help you, and then you did not show up for that. So at this point, so Mr. Mitchell, you're trying to do a resource staffing. What are you trying to staff her for?
Possible placement, Your Honor. That's
I mean, placement for just refusing to be supervised?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there a placement for that?
Well, we have to see. We've tried community services. Like I said, when she was placed on probation, the family was referred to HMO resource refugee services. Because she's rarely available for that, she's only had a few sessions with that. She's
runs away.
Excuse me?
Because she runs away.
Yes, sir.
I mean, if she won't even show up to court for an administrative hearing, why would she show up to a counseling session?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Mitchell, so my question is, before y'all do the resource staffing, legitimately, I'm curious on what kind of placement you think would help her. Like, I don't want y'all to waste your time. Mr. Shahan doesn't. You know, he's a busy man.
Well, Your Honor, that's all we got left right now. I was actually noticing that she was approved for placement before she was actually placed on probation, but it was denied at that time.
Well, hold on, Mr. Mitchell. That's not all we have left, right? Because we still have TJJD.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I remember that's the last option, but it's still an option. I don't think Lita thought we were serious about that. I don't think she thought I was serious about that. Okay. Well, Mr. Mitchell, I mean, y'all do a great job in good faith. Y'all try and do what you do, but Lita, I'm letting you know that at this point I'm detaining you because you're going to do what you're going to do. So we'll go ahead and Stephanie, go ahead and put an instruction in there, a note, do not release without district judge approval. So Lita, you're not going to have one of the associate judges release you. If anybody releases you, it's going to be me. Okay. So at this point, we're watching behavior levels. You had problems with that before. Sometimes you get real quick. So here's the thing is I know you can behave. You just choose not to. And that's kind of the problem that you're in now. So, all right, Lita. So we will see you in 10 days. Let's see. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm getting detained because I just missed a meeting.
Because why?
Because I just missed a meeting. I'm getting detained because of that.
You're being detained because, well, honestly, as much as we've seen each other, I knew you would make it through probation. And so Mr. Mitchell is going to bat for you to figure out if there's a placement for you. I'm kind of leaning towards, you just need to go to TJJD. So that's kind of, we're being detained because I think if I let you go, you're going to run away again. You're going to sneak out of the house. You're going to cause your parents more problems. You're going to get more fights. You're going to do more drugs. Yes, ma'am.
What you mean by drugs? I don't get you.
What?
What you mean by drugs?
Your parents are saying they found drugs in your room.
They found drugs in me, but I came out clean.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Mitchell, let's give her a hair follicle test. Thank you. I forgot about that, Lita. Thank you for reminding me. So we're going to take a sample of your hair, and they'll go back 6 months, and we can find out what drugs you've been using.
6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. But you've been clean, right? You just told me you've been clean, so you don't have to worry. We're good.
I'm not worried about that, but 6 months just for that?
Just for what?
I gotta wait here for 6 months?
No. The drug test will test your hair to see what drugs you've used for the last 6 months.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, Mom?
Yeah.
Mom, she's on mute.
She doesn't realize it, Your Honor.
Yeah. Somebody there.
Yeah, sorry.
There we go. Okay, Mom.
But she stole my car. She's very trouble every day, every day.
Yeah. Well, I know. This is why I didn't think she would make through probation. This is not the first time she took your car. Okay, so, yes, Lita.
But I got off an ankle monitor, which is information.
Yeah, you cut off my monitor before.
Yeah.
But I did good this time. I got off of it.
Yeah, but you cut off my monitor before. Like, see, and Lita, this is one thing you don't understand. Like,
You gonna use my background for now?
absolutely, 100%. For the rest of your life, people use your background against you. You burn somebody once, and they probably won't trust you ever anymore. What's different about your parents is they love you. You're their daughter. They would do anything for you. So all those times when you're lying to them, thinking that you're fooling them, you're not fooling them. They just don't want to hurt your feelings. For me, I don't mind if I hurt your feelings.
Lying about what?
What do you mean lying about what? You're telling me you've never lied to your parents?
I know, but like, what they're lie about? Like,
Well, I'll tell you what, when you take their car and drive off and you crash it out, that's a lie, right? Because you are telling them that they can trust you to be around the house, that they don't have to hide their keys. And the fact that you went and took the keys and took the car, yeah, that's deceit, that's a lie. You know what, Lita, here's a little tip. It is not all about you.
Why am I being held?
It's not all about you. You're not the victim in this.
About me, but why am
You're not the, stop being the victim.
Okay, but I got off a monitor.
You what?
I've been home for like almost 3 months.
I don't understand you. What'd you say?
I said I've been home almost 3 months.
Except when you would sneak out of the house, except when you would go and get in fights, even except when you would take your mom's car.
I got jumped. That's not getting into fights.
Lita, you've always gotten into fights. It's not, you know, here's the thing, Lita.
I know I always got into fights, but I didn't make the fight. I got jumped.
Lita, I would say that we're starting off on the wrong foot, except this is the same conversation we've had 5 or 6 times already. Like, you seem to think it's okay to lie to me. And I don't know why you think that's right.
I'm lying about what?
You're lying. See, and if it came to me listing all these things out, we have detention hearings right now. I'm not delaying it for you.
You're using my background against me.
You know, here's one. That's enough. You lied to me about that you're not going to cut off your monitor or run away.
Yeah.
Off your monitor,
I didn't cut off my monitor and run away, and I didn't run away. So
I don't think why you think you deserve a second chance. Anyways, Lita, I've made up my mind. Stop being the victim. Own up to what you've done. Realize what will be the consequences.
I cut off my monitor and being on a run. You just said that.
So Stevenson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, Mom.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Stevenson, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought to our facility, you see a judge within 2 days. I decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Davion, you were here in 2017. You got probation for assault of a public servant when you're 11 years old. And then the next year, you pick up an unauthorized use of motor vehicle. So now on Saturday, Fort Worth PD brought you in. They're saying that they responded to a robbery call. When they got there, the victim said 2 black males wearing dark clothing approached her and her friend, brandished a handgun, took their black Honda CRV, and took off. 3 hours later, the vehicle was spotted by a surveillance system, saw in the parking lot of a food mart on Las Vegas Trail. And they saw 2 black males leaving on the scene. And you need to keep it silent back there or turn it on.
Okay, get him out. Go. I'm sorry.
It's okay. This is still a court proceeding. All right, so on Las Vegas Trail, surveillance cameras found Davion and companion entered the stolen car. Davion took the driver's seat and the companion carrying a backpack. Please stop the vehicle. Ma'am, I'm going to either put yourself on mute or I'm going to have to kick you out of the Zoom session.
Okay, I'm getting him out. Hold on.
You can just put it on mute too. That works.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right. Police stopped the vehicle and took suspects into custody. Davion made a statement that he hadn't robbed anyone out of the blue. So res geste, so out of the blue said he hadn't robbed anyone, didn't know the car was stolen, and the police didn't even mention the robbery or the vehicle status. So the vehicle owner made the scene, gave consent to search. Backpack had the companion had a BB gun with the orange tip removed and a loaded magazine with 9mm rounds in the BB gun. So then both suspects made the res geste statement that they didn't know the backpack was in the vehicle or it had a weapon. And so they're taken into custody and transported here, and he tested positive for marijuana. All right, so Davion, make it really simple. Anytime there's a crime involving children with guns, I detain them. The fact that it wasn't a real gun is a little bit in your favor, but the fact that you made somebody fear for their life, I have a problem with that. The fact that if somebody that you pull a BB gun on has a real gun and shoots you in the chest, now your mom is planning a funeral. And so kids and guns is very dangerous. I just don't tolerate it. Mr. Stevenson, did you have a question for me?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you want to tell me something, I'm going to ask you don't. Your attorney doesn't want you to tell me anything. If you have a question to ask me, your attorney is generally okay with it. You have a question, or are you going to tell me something?
I need to tell you something.
Okay. Your attorney probably doesn't want you to tell me anything because this is not your trial. This is not about whether you did it or not. This is simply about whether I should keep you in custody or not. Okay. Mr. Graham, are you here? I don't think he is. So Mr. Lofton, I mean, you're just, I'm going to ask Mr. Lofton to sub in as your attorney. Mr. Lofton, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
You don't want him to tell me his side of the story,
No,
right?
sir. I would ask that he not do anything. I think that would hurt us more possibly in the future. And I'd ask my client to please refrain at this moment.
Yeah. Davion, don't put yourself in the spot. That's what he's saying. Right?
Yes, sir.
Because there may be things that they don't even know about you that if you tell me now, that all comes out and that they can pinch you for that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going off of what the police report says. I'm telling you, based on that report, I'm assuming that it's true for now for this detention hearing. And if it is true, I have a big problem with kids and guns. I am one judge that just does not tolerate that. And so initially, I am detaining you. We will see in 10 days what happens to decide whether to release you or not. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Not a promise I'm going to. I'm just saying I will reconsider in 10 days your situation. But this is a consequence for, and all kids know this. When kids have guns, Judge Kim detains them. Every single one. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Love you, Mama.
Charles Cannon.
Love you too.
No, hold on. This is, now I'm going to pass off to Judge Porter. He's going to handle a couple of the 10-day detention hearings, and I'll be back for a couple of kids later. Thank you, Judge Porter.
May. Come on.
Thank you, Judge Kim. Let's see. Alan Basavilvazo. All right. This is a 10-day detention hearing to determine if you should remain in detention or be released to a parent or guardian. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney. Is Mr. Green here?
Oh, I don't know.
Mr. Dotson, can y'all hear me?
Can hear you, Your Honor.
All right. All right.
Mr. Green was in the building this morning about 9:30.
All right. Mr. Lofton, do you mind filling in on this?
No, sir, not at all. I'm here, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right. Previously found probable cause to believe that you engaged in conduct that would constitute the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon back on October 9th. According to the police report, The day before, around 11:30 at night, police responded to a shooting call and found a male had been shot in the chest. They located the victim, who'd been shot twice in the chest. The victim reported that he had confronted you a couple of times in the past couple of weeks for playing loud music in front of your house, and that you apparently made a threat against him. There was an additional confrontation on the day in question, excuse me, the evening in question. He came out, had a pistol in his hand, but laid it down in his driveway. Thereafter, you exited a vehicle, crouched down, firing your pistol 2 to 3 times, hitting the victim twice in the chest. You have been level 1-0 since 10/12. However, does he have a parent or guardian here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Martinez, what is your relationship?
With my son, we have a
All
good
right.
relationship.
Where did he get the gun?
To be honest, Your Honor, I do not know where he got those.
And he came in and he tested positive for drugs, correct?
Correct.
You know where he got the drugs?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Based on the gravity of the offense, the court is concerned that if the court were to release him today, that he would be a danger to himself or others. He's only been level 1 since the 12th. This is just too scary. And the court's yet not convinced on the balance of equities that if he were released, he would not have another confrontation with the alleged victim. So on that basis, the court's going to order that you be detained. That will be the order of the court. Okay. Emma Gonzalez. All right, are you Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gonzalez, my name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. This is a 10-day hearing to determine if you should remain in detention or be released to a parent or guardian. The court has previously found that probable cause exists to issue a directive to apprehend. You were previously placed on probation by this court. Thereafter, the court received information that you had run away from your household in violation of your conditions of probation. Information provided to the court also indicates that back on the 12th day of August, you tested positive for marijuana. You have a history of running away. And so based on, and now you are level 1-0, but you've only been since yesterday. And so given your history of running away, using drugs while you're on probation, the court is not going to believe that you would not be a danger to yourself or others if released. And so on that basis, Ms. Gonzalez, you will be detained. That will be the order of the court. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Judge.
Jose Santos Moreno. Are you Mr. Moreno?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moreno, my name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney. Is Mr. Newman here today? I have not seen him. All right, Mr. Lofton, do you mind filling in for me?
No, sir, not at all.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Moreno, I'm going to appoint Mr. Lofton as your attorney just for this hearing. Okay. All right. So you're here on a directive to apprehend. Back in August, you were referred by the Fort Worth Police Department on 2 directives issued by the Juvenile Probation Department. The first was for an EM removal. The second was one actually signed by me, because you failed to come to court when you were supposed to. You're on probation, or no, you're pending. Let's see. Ms. Guerrero, is he pending or is he on probation for aggravated robbery? Who's filling in for Ms. Guerrero? Oh, wait, sorry, Ms. Lopez. I'm looking at the wrong line. All right, well.
Nobody's here with me today, so by myself.
You're pending for aggravated robbery. That's the one of the ice cream vendor. All right. So based on the gravity of the underlying offense, the fact that you cut off your monitor once, and you tested positive while you got pending charges, the court believes that if I were to release you, you'd be a danger to yourself or others. You need to maintain your level. You've been that way since 9/23, and that's putting your attorney in the best possible position to argue for the best possible outcome in your case. But for release today, it's not going to be from me. So that's going to be the order of the court. Thank you. All right. Jordan Guadalupe Saunders. Is Miss Taylor still here? There's Miss Taylor. All right.
Hi, Judge.
All right. Are you Jordan Saunders?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, Mr. Saunders, my name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention, you must see a judge every 10 business days if you're initially detained. This is a 10-day hearing to determine if you should remain in detention or be released to a parent or guardian. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney, and your attorney, Ms. Taylor, is here.
Hi, Jordan.
Mr. Lewis, what brings
Yes,
Mr. Saunders to court today?
Your Honor, Jordan was referred on October 10th on 2 counts of burglary of a vehicle. According to the police report on that day, police responded to a BMV call. No information on the initial contact with Jordan and his companion is available because the officer who filled out the report isn't the original arresting officer, but the allegations are Jordan and a 17-year-old companion had been detained out of that companion's vehicle. The vehicle Jordan and his companion were in had been reported stolen. Inside the vehicle, police confiscated 2 fanny packs and a backpack with a large amount of change, totaling $96.78. Also located in the vehicle was a computer bag with 2 laptops and a black checkered wallet. Jordan had in his possession $111 and a white iPhone. The companion had $509, another white iPhone, and 2 iPods. In total, 13 people had called police to report that their vehicles had been broken into. One of the victims, the owner of the black checkered wallet, wrote a written statement indicating some other items had been stolen, including a pistol. There is no mention of a pistol in the police report, which was brought in with Jordan. Jordan was at that time pending other charges for burglary of a vehicle, which are of this year.
Okay, and has he been previously released on the electronic monitor for those other burglary allegations?
No, sir, those were out of custody. I will mention that at his original detention hearing 10 days ago, mother was not present. She is still not able to be present today because of her work. Father is on the Zoom feed, and mother indicated this morning that if the court's willing to release Jordan until his hearing on Friday, she would be willing to come pick him up after her shift.
And what is Dad's name?
Dad is Jordan Saunders as well. I think he's here under Jordan's iPhone.
Okay.
I have seen him.
Yes, I just saw him. disappear. There he is. All right, Dad, if you can unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, forgive me. I hope that they're running a fire alarm test here. Can you hear? Is it? Or can you just only hear me?
Yes. Dad, he has been, well, first of all, when he was brought in, he tested positive for barbiturates and marijuana. Are you aware of his drug use?
But now that he's in there, I am aware.
Do you know where he, well, I guess you don't know where he's getting the drugs.
No, I'm unaware. No.
Mr. Lewis, is this Mr. Saunders' first time in detention?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Dad, if I were inclined to release him today, what can you do to assure the court that your son will actually behave, follow the rules if released?
You're asking what I can do to ensure that? Well, first of all, I can ensure whatever you need, whatever you're requesting, but I've been in contact with my son pretty much every in custody, and I've just noticed a dramatic change. So I feel that he would do different. I feel that there's going to be a big difference. I mean, either way, he's going to have to, show up to court in a few days because that's a serious matter. So, and I don't think that. So, I mean, given those facts, that's what I have to offer.
Would he be living with you or mom?
He's staying with his mother right now. I'm in Zoom feed from California.
Oh, okay.
I just want to make that known.
Let's see. Ms. Farmer, what are your thoughts?
Your Honor, we would ask that he be detained until his mom be present for the Zoom hearing. At this time, we don't know if there's an adequate supervision for him to be released to, since his parent is not present and his dad is in California. Given that he's been committing some more offenses while already pending an offense, we do think that he's a danger to himself and would like to ensure that he has adequate parental supervision to be released to.
Ms. Taylor, I think that Ms. Farmer has a good point.
If I may, Your Honor.
Please.
His father, he does have a parent here. It is his father. It's not his custodial parent, but they co-parent, and she's a mother, has already taken off work to be in court on Friday because that's his adjudication disposition hearing. But the last time we were at a detention hearing, I was told there was, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one case. I've been told that there may be two more coming in. I've inquired about those two more coming in. I don't know that we'll be ready to proceed on Friday. And this mom can't take Monday and Friday off of work in the same week. So she's made arrangements to have Mr. Saunders here to speak on her behalf. He's representing to this court that he's spoken with her and she will be able to pick him up tonight. It's his first time in the detention facility, so I think his level of adequate supervision at home is there, given the fact that these are misdemeanor offenses and it is his first time.
Unless Ms. Farmer plans to seek an engaging case, then it's different. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, Dad, can mom provide adequate supervision to your son?
She can, yes.
Okay, and can mom make sure that Jordan comes back to court on Friday when he's supposed to be here?
She can, and she's made arrangements to take that day off.
Okay.
Which is why she was unable to be here for Zoom today.
All right, Ms. Farmer, your points are very well made that the court hasn't been able to put eyeballs on mom, and you know, that gives me a little bit pause. But dad and mom co-parent. Dad's in a good position to throw mom under the bus if he wanted. He's not done that. In fact, he said completely the opposite. So based on dad's representations to the court, plus the fact that Jordan has been level 1-0 for the last 12 calendar days, this is his first referral. I'm going to take a chance. Jordan, if you don't come back to court on Friday, then I will issue a directive to apprehend for you. You'll be back in detention and things will not go well for you. All right. So you and mom need to make sure you're back in court on Friday. You understand? All right. I am going to release him on the electronic monitor though. All right. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Thank you, Dad.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Ariana Shelby. Okay.
Your Honor, Ms. Carter says she can't make it. She's in probate court.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Dotson. All right, Mr. Lofton, can you help out?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, are you Ariana Shelby?
I'm the grandmother. Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, are you Miss Shelby? Juvenile located
Yes, sir.
in F Pod. Is your name Ariana Shelby?
Yes, sir.
All right, Miss Shelby, my name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney. Ms. Carter couldn't be here today, so I've asked Mr. Lofton to fill in for your attorney, Ms. Carter. Do you see Mr. Lofton on the screen?
Good afternoon.
Hi.
All right. So, Mr. Dotson, briefly, what brings Ms. Shelby to court today?
Your Honor, on October 12th, Ariana and her grandmother, they reported for a adjudication disposition hearing. Ariana had been on a run. A DTA had been issued for violation of conditions of release. She reported that day. We had a detention hearing, and Your Honor decided to detain her. She had indicated that she would be positive for marijuana and smoking bars, and she was detained. She had a deal that if she didn't have any more than the two things she mentioned, that you would release her after 3 days on level 1 outstanding. She did cooperate, take the drug test, but she tested for marijuana, amphetamines, and methamphetamines, and she wasn't able to maintain level 1 for those 3 days. But she is currently on level 1 today, has been there since the 24th, but actually was on level 1 on the 18th, had 1 day of acceptable, but she got back on level 1 for today. She's case pending is the UUMV on April 17, 2020. Fort Worth Police Department was referred, dispatched a stolen vehicle. They observed a truck that matched the description of a truck being stolen. They ran a license plate. It came back stolen. At the time, Ariana was in the passenger seat, but motel video footage showed that she was driving the vehicle.
All right. Just to educate the public, she told us back at the last detention hearing that she would test positive for Xanax and THC.
Yes.
And so she tested positive for THC. Would Xanax also trigger a positive for both amphetamines and methamphetamines?
That is the question, Your Honor, I was trying to find the answer to before, to see if she qualified what you had mentioned. But the fact that she didn't hold a level 1 for 3 days, I have not got an answer to be able to answer that about the bars being both.
Mr. Nava or Ms. Paxton?
Hey, Judge.
Lagon?
Judge.
Daniel knows.
It's Daniel, Judge. She said she took a Xanax?
Yes, but
that's a benzodiazepine. So the only thing that's going to test positive for both is methamphetamine.
Correct. So like even Ritalin will trigger amphetamines, correct? But it won't trigger methamphetamines,
No,
right?
methamphetamine is only when it's not prescription.
Right. So, Ms. Shelby, you were not truthful with the court, and that's a problem. Mom, are you surprised that she was not truthful with the court?
No.
And because she was not truthful with the court, what should the court do today?
I don't have a clue, Judge. I'm not sure.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fair. Because your head's probably spinning right now. I know if I were in your shoes, and I would know come here from Sikkim. I really would.
Exactly.
Because I would be thinking this is my baby girl, and I'm shocked by all of this, and I can only imagine.
I'm not the mother, I'm the grandmother.
Oh, even more so. I mean, because you see her as a sweet little angel, and that's your whole world of her perfect vision of her. And now some of those layers of the onion are peeling away, and you're like, this is not the little girl I remember, changing her diaper way back when.
Right.
Ms. Shelby, our deal is off. You weren't truthful to the court. So you've got to maintain level 1.0 for 10 days before the court will authorize your release. And you're not there yet. So on that basis, you are going to be detained today, all right? That's going to be the order of the court. Grandmother, thank you for being here for her. Please continue to do that. Please call her and talk to her every day. She needs the help, all right?
Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Mr. Dotson. All right. Please do not bring in the next youth. I'm going to ask the court coordinator to stop the live YouTube. The law says under 5408 of the Texas Family Code, when the child is under the age of 14, that there's a presumption that the interest of privacy in the child outweighs the interest of the public in participating in these hearings. No evidence to the contrary has been presented to the court. Therefore, in accordance with 5408C of the Texas Family Code, the court will close the remaining hearings to the public. And we're going to allow about a 20-second time to burn off the live YouTube feed. If the court coordinator can stop that live YouTube feed, please, or Judge Kim.